Good evening, good evening, good evening. Y'all want to meet Rexy? Here's Rexy. Say hey, Rexy. Say hey. No kissing, no kissing. Okay, so tonight we are going to talk about Rexy, no kissing. Common business mistakes. Okay, so we are in August, so August, September. Okay, so we have 4 more months until we end 2023. Okay, so we need to end on a high note because in business, momentum is everything, right? So we want to end on a high note in 2023 so that when we take off in 2024, we have that momentum to take us to that next level, okay? So I wanted to go over some common business mistakes that we may be making so that we know not to make them, so that our business is going to run smoother, okay? So the first thing we need to make sure that we have as a business is going to be a point of sale system or a POS system, okay? A point of sale system will be PayPal, Stripe, Clover, Square. It's going to be either software or a machine that's going to take your payments. So you'll swipe your credit cards here. It'll give you your receipts for your sales. It's also going to track your sales. Okay. In business, we need to know our numbers. So a point of sale system is a great way to be able to track your sales. Give your receipts and make everything legit. Okay. In business, your business bank account is going to be your resume for your business. Whatever is showing as far as the income, that's what lenders, financial institution, banks are going to consider your income. When you make a lot of money, depending on who you are, the lender or that bank may not believe that you're really making the money that you're making. Okay, so having a point of sale system that will show the same amount of sales as what your bank account deposits show, to me is that little, shut up, I got this, card to use for lenders, banks, financial institutions. So when you show your bank statements and the number is a little large, you can say, well, hey, let me go ahead and, log into my Square account. Let me go ahead and log into my, into my Stripe account so you can see all the sales. So then when you go into your point of sale system, you can run a report. So let me show you all the sales from August 1st to blah, blah, blah. And when the sales in your point of sale system that you just logged into right in front of them match your bank deposits, it's like, yeah, get off me. I can make some money too. Okay. So we want to make sure that we have a point of sale system. Another reason why you want to have a point of sale system is that so that everyone has a receipt for their transactions, and all your transactions, no kissing, Rexy, all of your transactions are going to be recorded. At some point in time, sooner than later, it's very important to know your numbers. Your numbers are going to be how much money are you making minus how much are your expenses, and that's the number that we're worried about. There are people that will make millions of dollars, but after you say, okay, well, how much, and that's considered your gross profit. So how much are all your sales? The real number you want to ask is, what is your net profit? Because there are businesses that make millions of dollars, but they have a lot of expenses. They may not be pricing their product correctly. And at the end of the day, when you ask them what their net profit is, it's, a couple $100,000. So you're kind of like, well, where did all the money go? Okay. So you want to know your numbers. You want to know what your sales are. You want to know what your expenses are. And then you want to know what is that number afterwards. So what is that net profit? That's going to determine what you need to do. So if our net profit is not where it needs to be, number one, we may need to have some more sales. So maybe our sales are lagging. Number two, if our net profit's not where it needs to be, and I say net profit, like at the end of the month, we got money or we don't got money. A lot of times in business, we're busy. We're making the sales, we're marketing, we're getting the contracts, and the money's coming in. But the money's going out faster than how it's going in. Okay, we got inventory, we got payroll, we got taxes, we got this, we got that. And so we can kind of get caught up in a rat race, in a hamster wheel of going through the motions. But if we're not making any money, we're kind of just going through the motions. If you're really good at finagling things, you can kind of rob Peter to pay Paul. And now we're in this robbing Peter, paying Paul, robbing Peter, paying Paul. And everything is going fine. Everything is going good until something goes out. Until that inventory was delayed getting through customs and that delayed your sales. Until some machinery went out and now we have to pay a large amount to get it back up, until we had a slow week of sales and now all of a sudden we can't pay our bills. Okay, so knowing your numbers is one. How much does it cost for you to open your doors? So on the first of the month, you know it cost me $10,000 at the business to pay my rent, to purchase inventory with my pay. Hold on. Rex, you're just too excited. You got to go back down here. You're just doing too much. What is that number I have to make for the month? So how much does it cost for my rent, for my payroll, for my marketing, for my inventory, for whatever are your business expenses? The second thing is, how much does it cost for me to move? So how much is my mortgage, my car note, my groceries, my utility bill, blah, blah, blah. What are those two numbers? Okay, so I'm going to keep it real simple. Let's say it costs me $5,000 to run my business and $5,000 to run my home. So I need to break $10,000 just to break even. Okay, so on the first of the month, I'm rolling in with 10,000 reasons why I need to be up at 5 a.m., 10,000 reasons why I need to be on the grind, because I got to make $10,000 this month to make stuff happen. Now, if I'm making $40,000 in sales, but I'm only making $6,000 in profit, I'm losing $4,000 a month. If I have a stash, if I have a reserve that I can just keep pouring money into my broken business, I will do that, not realizing I'm bleeding. If I'm good at robbing Peter, paying Paul, and robbing Peter and paying Paul is, paying the utility bill a month behind, getting on a payment plan for this. Like we're always finagling something and we're always coming through at the end. But eventually that game gets tied up. The longer you bleed without knowing where the bleed is, the bigger the hole you are digging yourself in. See, people just look like, if I can just get through this month, I'll be good. And if I can just get through this month, I'll be good. But not realizing you're digging a hole, and pretty soon your reserve is going to dry up. Your savings is going to dry up. Something is going to break. The water pump is going to leak. The ceiling is going to cave in. Something's going to happen and you're not going to be able to cover it. So what you need to do is know your numbers. Number one, are you pricing your product or your service effectively? A lot of times we are underpricing our product. For example, let's just say I am Joy's Peach Cobbler. Now, let me do a real product. Let's just say I make a t-shirt that has rhinestones on it, okay? This t-shirt is going to cost me $3, okay? I'm going to get it printed in China, this print. China's going to charge me $1 to print the shirt, okay? Then let's just say I have rhinestones on top of this print. Let's say the rhinestones cost me per shirt $1. And then I have to ship the shirts from China to here. That's going to cost me another $1. Okay? So altogether, that's going to be this shirt is going to cost me $6 to make. A lot of times I may say, well, the shirt cost me $3 and it cost me $1 to get it printed. So I may not include the shipping in the price of what my cost of goods is. I may not include the packaging. So let's just say this shirt comes in a cute box or in a bag. I don't include that. A lot of times we don't include the real cost. I had a client the other day, I won't say what she manufactures, but she has to buy this material from one country. She has to then ship it to another country to get made. She has to buy a second material from another country, ship that to the same manufacturer to get made, and then ship it back here to the US. It's a very unique product. She didn't include any of the shipping in her cost of goods for what she was pricing her product. Okay, so if I think my product cost me $4, but it actually cost me $6. So if I think my product's costing me $4 and I'm saying I'm gonna sell it for $7, I'm only making $3 per shirt that I sell. Whatever is your profit has to cover paying all your bills, paying your employees, paying your lights, paying your internet. I don't know if you're taking a salary from the business or not. And then another thing we forget is after we sell all of our inventory, we have to re-up, meaning you have to have enough money to then go do the same dog and pony show again. Buy the material, get it printed. So a lot of times we aren't making enough meat on our product. Depending on what the product is, a good point of reference, if you want to just smash it out the box, the more you can charge for your product, the more profit you're going to make. So if it is a regular product, like something under $100, what you're charging, you want to try to get at least 4 times what the cost is. So if my product cost me $4, I want to sell it for at least $16. Minimum double. But if you're doubling it, you're only doubling your money. Now, depending on selling a car, you can't double the car. So you'll be a percentage. I'm trying to do, 10 or 20% of the bottom line profit. But if I'm selling food, if I'm selling a t-shirt, if I'm selling a hoodie, if I'm selling a sweatshirt, my goal is to at least do 4 times what it costs. Now, depending on how much money you have up front will depend on how much your cost is. If I'm having to source everything here in the US of A, it's going to cost me more money because materials and work cost more here. If I can go over the waters, if I can go overseas and have something done, I can get it done for almost half the cost. The problem, though, in going over the waters is I can't go to China and get 10 shirts made. I'm going to have to get 1,000 shirts made. So my MOQ, or my minimum order quantity, is going to be different. It's going to be higher. So you got to have some big money to go overseas. But if I can get overseas, my $6 shirt may then cost me $2. So if I'm selling my $6 shirt for $12, I'm just making $6 off the shirt. If I can get my cost down to $2 and I'm still selling it for $16, I'm now making $12 a shirt. So it's the same shirt. Do you want to make a little bit of money or do you want to make a lot of money? See, a lot of times we look at, I just want to make a sale. I want to just have some sales coming in. Well, if my shirt cost me $4 and I'm selling it for $7, after I sell all my inventory, I only made $3 a shirt. The shirt really didn't cost me $4, it really cost me $6, but I didn't add in the shipping cost to my cost of goods. So I really made $1 per shirt. So I sold 100 shirts, I made $100. Well, that's not going to cover my re-up. I got to go do this. I got to do it again and do it again and do it again. So now I need operating costs. I need funding. I need a loan. I need a grant. No, you're bleeding. And you can go get a loan. So go get a loan and keep selling your $4 shirt that really costs you $6 for $7. And you're always going to need a loan. You're always going to need a grant. You're always going to be scrambling because you're bleeding. You have a problem and you're not fixing the problem. So when you are pricing your product, you have to include all of the costs for that product. So everything that goes in the product. So the shirt, the production, the shipping, if you're having any kind of packaging, all of that has to go into the product. Well, how do you do that? Well, it's just math. Okay, so let's just say I'm going to go to China. So I got to buy I'm doing all this math. Let me get the calculator. Let me do some simple numbers. I got to buy 100 t-shirts, right? So if I got to buy 100 t-shirts to get them at $3 a shirt, that's going to be $300. So that's easy. That's $300. Okay. Now, for these 100 shirts, for me to ship them is going to cost $1,000. So I'm going to take that $1,000, I'm going to divide it by 100. That means it's going to cost me $10 per shirt for shipping. Okay, I'm just doing now. This will be a dumb number to do, but I'm just going to do simple numbers for my math's sake. We're going to say it's going to cost $1,000 for 100 boxes. So my shirt comes in a box. Okay, so I'm gonna do 1,000 divided by 100. So that means that my box that my shirt goes in is $10. Okay, so the shirt cost me $3, and the shipping and the box cost me 10 and 10. So my total product cost is going to be $23. From that, on a t-shirt, I need to be doing times 4. Okay, minimum times 3. Because the problem is, y'all gonna say, well, I'll sell it for $30. Well, you only making $7 a shirt. What you gonna do with $7 a shirt? Okay, because after you get the $7 for the shirt, you're gonna have some chargebacks, right? Someone gonna lie and say they didn't receive their shirt, and you gotta mail them another one, or it's gonna be a chargeback. So now you out of a shirt because they got you for 2. You're gonna have someone on payroll answering phones, or running the front office. You have rent, or marketing, or you're doing Facebook ads. So you're doing all this work. You have a great idea, a great product, but now we're out. We only got 100 shirts. You only made $7 a shirt. So that's $700. And now we're out. Beyonce wore your shirt on her day off of the Renaissance tour. So your website is blowing up, but you don't have any more shirts. And you don't have any more money for the real, because only for that $700, like that's gone in a week. So now you're like, I need funding, I need a loan. No, you're not running your business effectively. Now, same 100 shirts. They cost me $23. I just want to make a sale, so I'm selling it for $30, but I'm going to sell this shirt for $55, okay? So 55 minus 23 is going to be $32 times 100. So by me just increasing my price, I made $3,200 versus $700, and I didn't do nothing different. I didn't wake up earlier. I didn't hire someone who was smarter. I didn't go get an MBA real quick. All I did was price my product right. And I made $3,200 versus $700. So now with $3,200, I can go take half of that, go do this same inventory order, and then I still have money left over to pay people, market, pay myself. The whole goal is to be in a business where you have some meat on the bone. Don't do a sale. I don't believe in sales. But y'all going to be slow and y'all going to do a sale. So the $23 shirt that you're making $7 off, your homeboy say, well, man, can I get it for $25? And you say, sure. Okay, so now you made $2 on the shirt. How are you going to re-up? How are you going to buy some more inventory? How are you going to add another shirt? So all the clients who bought this shirt, they may want another shirt. No one's going to buy the same shirt twice. So if you have 100 people in your database, why can't you sell them on a second shirt? Because you don't have any money. Because you're not pricing your product effectively. So now we need funding. Now we need grants. Now we need a loan. Now you go get a loan. You're going to get you a $20,000 loan with the same problem. So you go buy 200 shirts, right? You're going to take your $20,000 to the man. You're going to do 200 shirts. So 200 shirts times $7. Now you done made you $1,400. Now after the 60 days, you done ran through your 20 grand. You done did the same thing and you still out of money. But now you got this note that you got to pay for that loan. Now you don't have, either you're going to pay the note or you're going to pay your rent. Well, which one you going to pay? Now your credit bad. Now you're talking about, man, you have to know how to price your product. Same with your service. What are you charging for your service? Now, when you're pricing your service, you're not pricing your service as to how long it takes you to answer a question. You're not pricing your service as to how long it takes you to do something. You're pricing your service based on, one, what is the need, what is the demand, and what did it take you to be able to answer the question or to perform the service. All Steph Curry does is shoot a basketball. How hard can it be to shoot a basketball? Well, I can go shoot a basketball. Pay me the millions of dollars. Well, what's the difference between me shooting a basketball and Steph Curry shooting a basketball? The difference is when there is a championship game on the line where my business, the basketball team, is about to make millions or billions of dollars. When a person has ran up and down the court for 48 minutes, is tired, exhausted, maybe, catching the flu, and there's 3 people on his back and he's half court, he's going to make the basket. That's the difference. He's going to make the basket under pressure. People ask me all the time, how do you know? Like, what book did you read? Book? Baby, I've been thrown to the lions, bears, and the tigers. Okay? This ain't no book. This ain't no Google. This is what I do. So what am I charging for this? So just because you can cut a bob in 10 minutes don't mean it should be $50. If you can cut a bob in 10 minutes, but when she swings each direction, all those layers is swinging, it's not stiff, you should be charging a premium price. You are not going to be for everyone. So you got to first find out who is my target audience and price accordingly. Gucci isn't trying to have everyone buy their clothes. Chanel wants barely anyone to be in their handbags and their clothes. Hermes is hoping no one buys it. In fact, I'm going to put you on a waiting list for 2 years to buy a purse, and you can't even pick the color, and you got to spend $30,000 on buying sandals and bracelets and scarves just to get the list. Okay, so it's like you got to charge whatever you are worth. So if I've been doing hair for 20 years, and I can cut a bob, I can get you some 613 blonde without damaging your hair. I can get you a sewing and it's going to be nice and flat. I'm charging a premium price. If I'm an accountant or I'm a CPA and I'm going to get you right to that borderline where you're not paying as much in taxes and the IRS ain't messing with you, and I'm going to be maybe able to even, get you a tax refund, I'm charging a premium price. If I am a business coach and I can take you from making $5,000 a month to $5,000 a day, I'm charging a premium price. But a lot of times we just want to make a sale and we sell ourselves short, and we are in a constant hamster wheel of never making enough, and we're exhausted and we're tired and I'm on this hustle, but nothing is changing. Now, I'm not saying that this won't be a season. The whole hustle and grind and robbing Peter to pay Paul. All that is part of the business. But eventually, after you done rob Peter, Paul, and Mary, we should have enough to re-up. The whole goal is to get us to a point to where we're on auto flow. The bills are on auto pay. I'm guaranteed to make X amount of money because I've already sowed all these seeds. I got things in place. And so now my business is just running. I know I'm going to make X amount of money every month because I have my systems in place. I have my policies. I know where I'm buying. I know my number. So, hey, oh, wait a minute. Payroll's a little high. See, if you don't know your numbers every single month, you're going to get robbed. Who going to steal from you? Them employees. Your employee's going to steal from you. The one that you helped the most. The one who baby daddy wasn't paying child support. So you gave them a payday advance. That's who's stealing from you. The one whose car got messed up in the flood and you went and rented them a car for 2 weeks. That's who's going to steal from you. The one who was short because she went to the club and her purse got stolen and they took all her money out of her account so you paid her rent. That's who's going to steal from you. Them right there. That person's stealing from you. Yes, yes, yes. Okay, so ain't no one looking out for you. You're the business owner. You're rich. You're making all the money. They're at that cash register. They only see what's going in. They don't see all what's going out. And what's going out is going out faster than what's going in. But to them, it's free money. It's free product. It's free supplies. Come pay me. And I'm looking for any way to get over on you and take what you have. And who cares? You got it. I don't. That's called business. Okay, welcome to business. So you need to know your numbers every single month. How much did you make? But how much went out? How much went out is more important than how much you made. They just had on the news, Wendy's done paid $20,000 to a fake employee. A manager at Wendy's made up a fake employee, and I think over 5 or 6, it took them 6 months to catch it. They paid the fake employee $20,000. I have had employees add zeros to paychecks. I've had employees make up checks. Baby, like it's real out here, okay? You have to know your numbers. How much did you have in sales? How much went out and where did it go? So if normally I am paying, let's just say I'm paying an inventory on average $5,000 a month. If I'm all of a sudden paying $8,000 a month in inventory, well, what's the increase? What happened? If payroll is normally $6,000 a month and then it's 8 and then it's 10 and we're not giving no raises, well, what's going on? But a lot of times we want to remove ourselves from the business and we don't have time to run. We're going to hire someone who's going to steal from you to run the business. I'm going to hire a manager, right? They're going to all be in cahoots against you. You'll know your numbers. And as long as everything's hunky-dory, you're good. But when the bleed, see, people they're going to steal from you in small increments. It's going to start off $1,000 every month. They didn't get caught. Now it's going to be $2,000. They didn't get caught. Now it's going to be $3,000. They didn't get caught. But here's the gag. The more money you make, the easier it is to steal, because when you making money, all the bills is paid. You ain't tripping. You ain't, okay, we good. We making money. The business who's not making money, if 10 cent goes somewhere else, where that 10 cent go? They on it, right? But once you start making that money, all of a sudden we putting our guards down. Life is good. What's up? Hey, and they stealing from you. And you may not catch the steal. It could be a steal from employee theft. It could be maybe our payroll is just too high. Maybe we are just having too many employees for what the business can sustain. Well, our sales don't qualify for us to have 10 employees. We should have 6, but you got 10. So you really bleeding. And you bleed, and you bleed, and you bleed, and you bleed, and you bleed. Either we wait too long to catch the bleed. Maybe sometimes we don't want to see the bleed. Like, I just don't want to see it. I can't let this person go. They got this and I can't let this go. I can't close. You so worried about failing that you just watching yourself bleed to death, not realizing, baby, at the end, you can only bleed for so long until either you gonna make the decision or the decision gonna be made for you. The landlord gonna just put the lock on the door. The utility company gonna just turn the lights off. Okay. The bank is gonna be like, baby, you done had too many insufficient funds. We just can't deal with you anymore. So you can use QuickBooks. If you're a software person, they have QuickBooks. They have FreshBooks. I'm a pen and paper kind of a girl. So I like to make forms. I got this little business tax planner where I do forms. I'm old, right? So I want it every day. Let me show you. Every day I like to write down what my sales were. And then I like to write down what what my expenses were. If I show you a page. And if you know your numbers, you'll be able to catch when something off. We ain't looking for nothing big to be off. We don't look for $10,000 to be gone. That's not how people steal. See, you gotta know people. And once you've been in this game long enough, you'll learn. They're gonna steal small. It's gonna be an accident. Oh, I didn't know. Oh, I put 60 hours instead of 50. Girl, you almost had me call you out your name. Don't play me, please. Oh, that's what happened? They're gonna play dumb. They testing you. Are you gonna let it slide? Oh, it's okay. Or are you gonna be like, it's coming out to a check. So it's not my fault that you submitted, incorrect hours. So I'm gonna go ahead and do a payroll deduction. And oh, you can't. Oh yeah, I can. Cause see, in my employee handbook, I already put any unauthorized hours submitted will be deducted on that check. So you got to have all your ducks in a row. That's why these systems, procedures, handbooks, all that's important. Because the person stealing from you or the person causing you to bleed, at the end of the day, I can't have it. So I do forms like this. Okay, so every day I'm going to write down my income or sales, right? So today I made $3,000. Tomorrow I made $4,200. So for at the end of the month, I know exactly how much I made. Now I'm going to get these bills, right? Okay, what's rent? You need to know everything that's going out. You need to know what is going out. And then once you see it, okay, this month is good, cool. You ain't tripping. This month's cool. But every single month, you have to be, if you're not working in your business, you have to at least know these numbers. And what I would do is, if you do have a manager, act like something off. Make them think that you're actually looking at the numbers. Because the second they think whatever they're turning in that you're not looking, get ready to go ahead and get screwed. Get ready. Okay? You can't trust anyone in business. Everyone will turn on you. It's just business. See, a lot of times we think it's a family and, we're all in the same boat. Baby, no, we not. Okay? So just know every person that you are hiring, it is just business. So when you have to pull that knife out your back, don't take it personal. I have had so many employees, baby, who have thrown so many knives in my back. And 5 years later, oh my gosh, all that stuff you taught us, I understand now. Oh, I'm so sorry for you. You can't take it personal. It is just business. You can't take it personal. Okay. So one, having a point of sale system so you're able to track your sales. You're able to know all what's coming in. Everyone's getting a receipt. Number two, you got to make sure that you know your numbers for your product. So whatever it takes for you to produce that product, that has to go within your cost of goods. So what does it cost for me to produce this jacket, to produce this shirt? If I'm making a peach cobbler, right? So how much do the peaches, the sugar, the crust, How much does all that cost? And the person who's going to stand there and make it, what's their hourly rate? That's what it costs to make my peach cobbler. So if it costs me $100 to make a pan of peach cobbler, and in that pan of peach cobbler, there's 10 servings, and each cup of peach cobbler costs me $10. At minimum, you should be doubling your cost. The goal is to 3 or 4 times minimum your money, so you have some meat on the bone. The meat allows you to get the brick and mortar. The meat allows you to hire a manager. That meat's going to allow you, instead of me getting my supplies from Sam's Club, let me go over these seas and get the supplies in bulk. See, once you get everything in bulk, once you can go across them waters, that cost going to come in half. But you got to be able to sustain yourself, get your business open, do the whole Rob, Peter, and Paul, do the whole little shebang, hold on, pray, just to get enough money and then save it. We aren't outside. We're not buying the new bag because in 6 months it's going to be the old bag. We're not buying the new shoes because in 2 months it's going to be the old shoes. We're putting all that money back in the business, just saving it so eventually I can go over them waters and get my stuff for cheap. But I'm not going to change my pricing. So now I have meat on my bone. The more meat you have, the bigger you're going to be able to go. And now you can sustain your business. You don't need funding. You don't need the loan. You have a operable business. But you got to know your cost. Make sure everything is in that cost and then price it accordingly. Third, we got to know our numbers. How much does it take for you to run your business? If you are living out of the business, how much does it take for you to run your household? And of course, we are trying to be on a skeleton shoestring budget. Okay, so nails, lashes, all that, extra stuff may not be happening in the beginning. And on that first of the month, I know I got to make $10,000. Once I make 10, I know I'm in the clear. So if it's at the 15th of the month and I've made my goal of $10,000, great. Now I'm just, now I'm still going full throttle because now I can have some extra money to put aside. If it's the 20th of the month and I'm at $8,000 and I know it takes 10 just to break even, baby, I should be out marketing everywhere. I'm wearing a polo shirt to the grocery store. I'm wearing a branded hat to my kids' basketball game. Everywhere I go, I'm just giving someone a compliment. I am talking to every stranger at the gas station, just some small conversation just to get to, hey, by the way, did you know I have a blah, blah, blah. I am on Instagram going live. I am on Instagram doing videos showing how my product works, how great my product tastes. I'm posting customer reviews. I am out here working like a Hebrew slave because I need $2,000 just to break even, only to wake up and do the same dog and pony show again for the next 30 days. So if you don't know what it takes to run your business and you don't know what it takes to run your household and you're calling yourself a business owner and you're on cruise control, you don't need funding. You just need to fine tune your business. Okay, so numbers, cost of your goods sold, and what it takes for you to run is a mandatory of what you need to know. You can look for sometimes whatever we are using, we may be able to find a more cost-effective alternative. Okay, so if I am just starting off and I'm selling a product, I may not have any packaging because I just can't afford it, right? Or maybe my quality of shirt may need to be a little less quality depending on what my price point is so that I can kind of make it. It has to all make sense at the end of the day when it comes to these numbers. Or I don't need to hire a marketing team. Why don't I do my own marketing? So let me first find out who is my target audience. Who is my product made for? What kind of marketing style do they like? Let me kind of test some things. Let me do a behind the scenes video. Let me kind of, get some things in order and understand what I'm doing. I see a lot of business owners just hire. I'm hiring a social media manager. Baby, why? Who told you had money to hire a social media manager? Like, where's all this money coming from? And it's because we're using our upfront seed money. The upfront seed money may be needed 3 months from now to pay your rent so you don't get evicted. So a lot of times when you're starting your business, you may need to wear a whole bunch of hats to save out on that cost, to keep everything on that shoestring skeleton budget, to make sure whatever money you have is going to last you. So, point of sale system to track all of our sales, knowing what it costs to make the business run and make you run, knowing every expense that's leaving that bank account. Everything needs to be leaving that business bank account. Nothing needs to be in that personal bank account. We're not doing Cash App and Zelle. Everything's going through our point of sale system so we can have proof of what our sales are. So there may come a time when we do need funding. Okay, so Beyonce wore this shirt after her tour. Now I have an order for this shirt, and now Target wants to carry this shirt. Well, I may need $50,000 just in materials to be able to process whatever is the demand. Well, now I need to walk into the bank and say, hey, I have a product. I can't keep this shirt in. Beyonce wore this shirt going home after the Renaissance tour. I have $100,000 of pre-ordered sales on my website, and Target and Walmart want to run this shirt, but I have to give them 15,000 units of each shirt for them to carry it. So I need $50,000 just for materials to be able to mass produce this. The bank's going to ask you for your last 3 months of bank statements. What is on your bank statement? If we're in a cash heavy business, a lot of times the business is making the money that we're saying it's making, but we don't show it. The cash may hit our pocket and stay in our pocket. The cash may hit our pocket on our way home to Walmart. We went and bought our kids some snacks, and you got some toiletries for the business, so that cash never made it to the bank account. That cash hit your pocket and went into your safe at home. So now we're at the bank talking about we make $100,000 a month, but the bank statements maybe just show $50,000 a month. And the bank's looking to like, well, I thought you said that you made $100,000. But see, what happened was, I don't put all the cash in the bank. See, once you start doing all that jive turkey, it's just like either we're going to do business or we're going to be in the streets hustling. There is no in between. Either we business or we in the streets hustling. If we in the streets hustling, then you got to just stay in the streets. So whatever loan, you can go ahead and get you a hard money loan. You can talk to Didi and them, and they can put some money up and, all that. But you can't walk into Bank of America talking about, I don't put all, either we going to be street or we going to be corporate. To walk into that bank, they going to ask you for your last 3 months bank statements. And before you have Kiki and them, do that PDF real quick, they're going to give you a link that's going to have you log in front of them or on this link to your online bank statement. They're not going to take no PDF that Kiki done, cooked up last night that said X, Y, and Z. So before you think you're about to outsmart the bank, guess again. Okay? So that is why it is so important that when the money hits your pocket, it goes to the bank. Your business bank statement is your resume. Whatever that business bank statement says, that's how much you make. We're not pulling up Cash App. We're not pulling up Venmo. We're not doing all that at the bank. Okay? We are walking in with our bank statement. No, they're going to send us a link for us to log in for them to get our bank statement. We can have no negative balances for the last 120 days. So that's why I always say have 4 bank accounts. Your income account where all the money goes in, your expense account or your operating account where you have your check card and your checks and all the expenses go out. Your 3rd account will be for payroll, and your 4th account will be for tax/savings. So the bank will only get your income bank account. So all it's going to have is the money coming in, and then wire transfers or ACH transfers to your other accounts. And it's going to be nice and clean and simple. And hey, here's what was made. Here's my ending balance. The bank won't see what any of your debits are. They won't see who your vendors are. They won't see where you're spending your money. All that ain't got nothing to do with them. You just have a nice, clean bank statement showing credit card deposits, cash deposits, and then transfers out to your different accounts. If it doesn't hit the bank, your business doesn't get credit for it. The benefit of you hiding that $50,000 at home because you don't want to pay taxes on it is going to shoot you in the foot when it's time to ask for a line of credit. It's going to shoot you in the foot when you're looking for a loan. It's going to shoot you in the foot if another pandemic comes and you're trying to get some money, because this go round, they're going to want verification. If we're going to run a business, we're going to run a business, right? So a business is going to pay taxes. It's just part of business. So instead of running from paying taxes, understand I'm going to pay taxes. How do I pay the least amount of taxes? Let me hire the best accountant, the best CPA for my industry that's going to, walk me through exactly what tax deductions do I qualify for? How should my structure be? Should I be an LLC? Should I be an S Corp? And then, hey, I am balling this year. What do I need to do? Do I need to buy equipment this year? Should I wait next year? See, these are all the things that we need to be discussing when we're running a business. Not how do I hide the money? How do I protect my money? What is the best way for me? This is what it is. So for those who need the accounts, again, it's going to be income account. It's going to be expenses or operating, whichever word you like. It'll be your payroll account if you have payroll, and then it's going to be your tax/savings. So, and all these accounts should be at the same bank. So all you got to do is do wire transfers. So your credit card statement, your credit card deposits go into your income account, and then your cash deposits go into your income account. So that account is just income. Your expense or operating account will have your check card, or you'll have business checks, or both. You're going to pay all of your expenses out of your operating expense account. Depending on your cash flow will depend on, do you do a little transfer daily, weekly, or monthly? I believe in having a strong cash flow. So I pay my bills a month in advance. So for my businesses on the 1st, I pay all my bills. So August 1st, all my business bills are paid for or put over in the expense account. So whatever payroll normally is, life, all that's there. Okay. So when I'm working in August, that money is for September. So I'm always a month ahead. I have robbed Peter, Paul, Mary, Keisha, Laquan, and Davian. Okay. I've been there. So when I got to the other side and realized if I just play broke long enough and just save, I can then get ahead. I never stop from being ahead. Okay. So I'm not saying I pay my bills a month in advance to brag. I've been where some of y'all may be. Okay. So I understand the struggle. So that's how I do a month in advance. You may just have to do a daily transfer. So if I'm doing Joy's Peach Cobbler, I got to go to Sam's Club to get maybe some forks, some spoons, and some trays to put the peach cobbler in. And I'm going to spend $100. I'm going to just transfer from my income account to my operating or my expense account the $100. So you can do the transfer either monthly, weekly, daily, whatever your cash flow is. You're going to put the money over there into the expense account and swipe that check card. You do not want to pay your employees on a bank account that you need. Cash flow is everything in a business. Okay, so I have a separate account where I pay my employees. I've had employees add zeros to checks. I have had employees make up my business checks. Okay, so let's just say I have $10,000 of fake checks that have gone through my account. If I'm paying my employees on my income account where all the money's hitting, when you give a payroll check, it has your account information on it. Okay, and when you are employing people, they are strangers. So anyone who has that check, it may not even be your employee. Maybe they brought their paycheck home and their baby daddy or baby mama, saw the check and they're a scammer. Who knows, right? But your banking information, your account number, and your routing number is on that check. If I have an employee make up a fake check and pay themselves $10,000 and that $10,000 came out my income account, can your business survive negative $10,000 and still be able to pay all the bills, function, pay payroll, because it may take 7 to 14 business days, for you to, catch your breath from seeing the $10,000 that shouldn't have, gone out. You got to contact your bank. They got to do an investigation. They got to check the signature. You'll get the money back. It's going to take you some time to get the money back. The question is, do you have that time? I don't want to play with my livelihood because for my businesses, I'm taking care of the business and I'm taking care of myself. So I can't play with my mortgage, my car note, the business bills. I don't have time to play. I would rather all the employees' paychecks bounce, right? Because that's going to be a lesser amount of money. And then I can just tell the employees, hey, y'all, so-and-so wrote a fake check. Okay, so all your checks are about to bounce. Okay, so go ahead and let me know whatever is your insufficient, check fee from your bank, and then I will give you a cashier's check for your paycheck plus whatever is the fee that your bank's going to charge you. And then that way, my payroll account may be negative, but it's going to come back positive when this checking situation clears. It's like it's negative. It didn't really take all my money, right? And I can just pay my employees with this little cashier's check versus that $10,000 took my rent money and my inventory money. Now I can't re-up on my shirts until the bank clears it, right? So I like to have layers of protection. Then that fourth account is going to be for your tax/savings account. So once you're in business long enough, you're going to know what are going to be your heavy months and what are going to be your skim months. Okay, the sun won't shine every day and the rain won't rain every day. You got to know what months are your big months and what months are your skim months. So when you have a big month, when I have a heavy cash flow month, I'm not at Saks. I'm not in Tulum. I'm not at a new car deal. I'm not doing all that. I'm paying my bills, doing whatever, and then I'm putting some money aside. Because I know coming up, I'm going to have a skim month. I may need to pull $2,000 to help cover payroll in one of those skim months. I may need to pull $3,000 out to come knock out this rent. An opportunity of a lifetime may be walking my way. I want to have some reserves to be able to make some moves with. Unlike being a 9-to-5, getting a paycheck where that's your money, in a business, all that money that comes is not your money. You can see it, you can touch it, you can feel it, you can smell it. It's not your money. Okay, that is, you got inventory, you got a whole list of things. It's not your money. What if another COVID happens and we are shut down and for 3 months you don't have anything coming in? Can you survive? So once you get your business rolling, Now we're trying to sustain the business. So the second stage of business in sustaining is going to be, what are my reserves? Do you have 6 months of business and living money saved up? So if something were to happen, you're good. Do you have something saved up? So if someone said, hey, if you can go make 10,000 shirts in the next 30 days, I can get you into Target. Do you have that money sitting there to maximize on that opportunity? Stay ready so you don't have to get ready. Or are you going to be going to your closet, trying to go to a consignment store and sell your Chanel bags because you need some money? I'm not being funny. I had to go out of my closet at some point in time and sell some of my Chanel bags to go buy some inventory. I'm speaking what I know. I'm saying, I'm not being funny. I'm not throwing digs. I'm testifying, right? You don't want to live like that. So when you live like that and you be like, I am so out of order. Now you just do things differently so that you just in order, right? So so those are the 4 accounts: income account, operating or expense, and payroll, and then your tax/savings account. Cash flow and managing your cash flow is the most important part in business. Okay, so you got to know your numbers. We got to be able to catch the bleeding if we're bleeding. And then we got to be able to manage our cash flow. It's hard to manage a bank account where money is coming in and money is going out. That's why I find that having the separate accounts, it's easier for me to manage the cash flow, meaning make sure I still have cash in the bank at the end of the day and knowing where it's going. It's easier to see it that way versus you have one big pot, because sometimes I've had employees hold checks for 60 days. Like some employees use their paycheck like a savings account. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm going to hold this check for 90 days, and so if you have it just in one account, then you wrote the check for $1,500. She's just holding it because she going to Miami, to go turn up for her birthday. So she's not gonna cash that check until I think how long? You think you have 6 months to cash the check, so she ain't gonna cash that check for 90 days. You're seeing the total number that's in your account, thinking you have this $10,000, you good, but you really only have $8,500 because she ain't cashed that check. When she casts that check, it's going to be a skim week. When she casts that check, you're going to have several chargebacks. So that money's going slower. When she casts that check, some equipment, broke down. Or your car transmission went out. So you had to use a chunk of that money, because your car was in the shop. And then you have $1,500 left in your account. You're like, whoo, that's going to last me till Friday. And she's going to cash that check. Now you laid out. Because now your balance is zero. And that wife on your neck talking about, I thought we was going to so-and-so for vacation this week and we've been planning. And then you got to explain to your wife why the business has no money. What you mean don't have no money? You always like working. No. Now you're arguing. Now you're not having sex. All because you didn't manage the cash flow. So the banking, the numbers, the cost of your product, what you're selling, that is the number one thing that you should be focused on. If you need help in going over how to price your stuff, how to do all this, book an hour consultation with me. If you can't afford an hour consultation, maybe Google it. Go on YouTube. How do you price your stuff? But the more meat you have on the bone, the more money you're going to make, the more you're going to be able to sell in volume, the more money you're going to be able to make, the easier your life is. Money won't buy you happiness. It just gives you options. Do you really want that husband? Do you not want that husband? Do you really want that wife? Do you not want that wife? Do you really want to stay here or do you want to stay somewhere else? It just gives you options. So, if you have... Every year, you need to also go over your pricing. A lot of times, vendors will change up their pricing and not let you know. That happened to me when I was selling hair. They changed the pricing on our 26 to 30 inch hair and didn't tell us. Hey, friend. Remember I said when you make a lot of money, the small stuff doesn't matter? We're wiring $100,000 every 2 weeks just getting hair. But the numbers aren't adding up. What is going on? Something is wrong. I'm not even checking my hair order because that's my friend. I've been doing business with him for years overseas. He wouldn't do me dirty. See, I don't make up scenarios. I tell you exactly what happens in real life. Oh, friend, I didn't tell you? Nah, nigga, you didn't tell me. So for 6 months, I have been paying X amount, but I never changed what I was charging my customer. So for 6 months at my salons, if you came in about a 26, 28, 30 inch, what actually happened is I handed you $20 to walk out the door. I was losing $20 per customer. You do the numbers. It's an hour line to get in my salon on a Saturday just to get in. They lined up with beach chairs and coolers, bleeding, right? So the more money you make, the more you need to be on the numbers. Don't go on cruise control. At church, when you pass out with the Holy Spirit, because God has blessed you so well on Monday, be on the numbers and check everything so you know you can catch the bleed. You're going to bleed somewhere at some point in time. The goal is to catch it as soon as possible. So we're almost at the end of 2023. Make sure that you are pricing your product correctly. Make sure that you are pricing your service correctly. It is okay to go up on your prices. If you've gotten better at something, it's okay to go up on your prices. No, but know what your target audience is. If your target audience can afford it, then do it. If you're a brand new designer and you come out with a bag and you're going to charge $10,000, well, if you don't have a name for yourself, no one's going to buy the $10,000 no-name brand, right? But if you work yourself, like Tom Ford started at Louis Vuitton. He was a designer there, right? Just getting a salary. Then he came out and he made a brand. Then his brand became hot. And, then they do a price increase. Every year, Louis Vuitton's going to increase their prices. Every year, Chanel's going to increase their prices. So if you have a demand, if your target audience is there for it, increase your prices. If you heard like, baby, I am pimping myself. I am a little $2 prostitute. I'm tripping. Then just change your pricing and find a whole new target audience. But everyone on this live should understand what it costs for them to open their doors every month, what it costs for their home to run, what is the actual cost for their product. Are they pricing themselves accordingly to whatever it is that they're selling? And do you know the numbers and the expenses of your business? If you need help with that, book an hour consultation with me so we can get you together. So you have some momentum ending 2023 so we can go ahead and run full throttle in 2024. Okay, so I will save this live if you guys, logged in a little late so you can kind of go over how to price your product and all that good stuff. If you want to book a consultation with me, I am $150 for 30 minutes, $250 for an hour. The link will be in my bio or on my website for my calendar. And I will save this live. Everyone have an awesome night, and I will, of course, see you at the bank.